Hello, I'm Daniel Hill and I'm the Drama Development Manager for the Point and the Very Theatre, and I'm also directing Wind in the Willows. Wind in the Willows is our youth theatre production that is taking place at IBM. They've got a beautiful site in Hursley and it's an outdoor promenade production, and the production takes place from the 30th of July to the 4th of August, and I've got a couple of cast members here with me and we're just going to have a quick chat. Up till this stage we've been blocking the show, which means we've been getting all the cast together and putting them in the right places and basically going through all the different steps and beats of each scene to make sure it's kind of in place. And now we're getting into the really exciting part of the rehearsals, which is where we start making mistakes and experimenting and doing all that kind of stuff. So we've got Kelly here, who's one of our hedgehogs, and we have Tyler, who is playing the wise badger. And I'm going to ask them a couple of questions. So first of all, Kelly, do you want to tell us a little bit about what it's been like trying to get into the character of a hedgehog, and what do you have to do to become a hedgehog?
Well, first you have to kind of think what kind of abilities and characters of the hedgehog are. So they're kind of rather shy, timid creatures, not very, enthusiastic about mixing in daylight.
Yeah.
So you have to think very
And is that anything like you? Are you quite shy and scared?
Yeah, about secondary school.
About secondary school, so are you using that to kind of feed into your character?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. It's always good to be able to have a personal point of reference. And is there anything you have to do physically to become a hedgehog?
Well, you just have to kind of think small, like a hedgehog.
Think small, I like that.
Yeah.
And they make lots of interesting shapes, don't they? So hedgehogs are quite good for kind of getting into balls and stuff. Tyler. You're like the wise kind of granddad father figure in this play.
Yes.
What's that like? It's not what you're used to. In the past you've been playing some pretty horrible characters, so this is a bit of a change for you.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest task yet, because it's completely away from anything I've ever done, so it's kind of throwing me in at the deep end here, but I love it. It's great to just explore and do something that's totally away from everything, and it's, definitely every rehearsal's a challenge, but I'll just take it as it comes, and I love Badger anyway, so.
And what about you? Obviously he's physically very, very different to you, and a badger is physically very different, so what are you kind of doing to make that work?
I try to take the kind of focal, where they're always looking forward, so I try to bring my whole body forward a little bit and just make sure I'm always focused on following. If I push my head forward, then I kind of just take that as an impulse to go somewhere, and he's kind of more over on his physicality. He's a bit slouched forward and stuff. Kind of it's totally different to how I am as a person.
Yeah, and that's quite important, we found, isn't it, to try and find a physical difference in you to really enhance your character, because the animalistic side of the characters are really important for us in this version. Did either of you know Wind in the Willows before we started the story?
Yeah, definitely.
And does that help, do you think?
It does kind of help to know, the storyline, just so you can understand what it's all about.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't matter if you know it really well or not, because you're going to learn on the way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I kind of knew it, but I kind of wasn't going to pay much attention to the original storyline, because as soon as we got here, I knew it was going to change, so I'd just take the script as it was and know that as my Wind in the Willows story.
So take most of the clues from the script as opposed to the book itself.
Yeah, go from what we have instead of what we know, because I just prefer just bringing my ideas into something totally different.
Yeah, because it's quite a faithful adaptation, isn't it? It's not it doesn't venture away from the story too much, but obviously it's nice to be able to have real freedom in what you do and making your own decisions and stuff. You've done an outdoor production with us before, so what's it like? Is it different performing outdoors for a performer? Is it different to outdoors to performing in a theatre, and what do you have to do differently to prepare for that?
It's really different. You think you're ready, and then you get there and you realise it's on such a larger scale. To take it from in here, you then get there and realise the spaces are smaller or they're bigger than you've been used to, so then you're trying to think about where you should be at certain points and then move that into your new space, and you've got to be 10 times louder because it's in here it's fine, but when you actually have people all around you, then you just need to make sure projection's on point. You actually have an audience while we're there, so it's kind of, you need to make sure that you're addressing everyone and not just one person, so it's definitely a hard task, but I think everyone's up to it.
Yeah, and even more in this version, because this play you directly interact with the audience as well. There's moments where you actually turn and become storytellers, so being able to engage that massive crowd and in an outdoor space is quite a challenge. And what about you, Kelly? Have you ever done an outdoor production before?
No.
So what are you worried? Are you worried about anything? Is it harder? Do you think?
I think it may be a bit harder. It's just because you have to get your voice a bit more, because in the theatre it might be a bit more easier because the audience aren't going to be like following you all the time.
And you've got a song to sing, haven't you? So you're going to have to be really loud in that as well.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that bit? Good. It's sounding good in rehearsal so
Sounds
far.
really great.
Cool. And just final question. Obviously, we've been really concentrating on our physicalities and stuff, and like really making the animal side of our characters come out. And all the animals have different characteristics that represent them. So if you were an animal, what animal would you be, and why? A guinea pig?
Yeah.
Great. Why?
Because they're quick, small, and rather timid.
Quick, small, and timid. I like it. And they squeak.
Yeah.
Can you squeak? Perfect.
That's a hard one. I'd say a giraffe.
Why?
They're so long and just limbs, and that
They're all limbs.
That pretty much just is me. I'm just really tall and all limbs everywhere, and it just gets in the way.
Perfect. Cool. Great, thank you guys. As I said, yes, Winnie the Willows, 30th of July to the 4th of August. Come and see it, it's going to be ace, and we're going to go and carry on, because Lisa's taking over at the moment, so we're going to go and carry on rehearsing. See you later.
But never done. From the floods in February until the summer when it drops away and shows mud that smells like plum cake. Never done it. What's that? Over there? That? No, that's just the wildwood. We don't go there much, we riverbankers.
Aren't they nice in there?
Well, the squirrels are all right. And the rabbits, some of them. Then there's Badger. He lives right in the heart of it. Wouldn't live anywhere else if you paid him. Nobody interferes with him.
Who would?
Well, there are others. Weasels, stoats, foxes. All right in their way, but you can't really trust them. Come on now, let's take you dry and into the wall.
Ratty, my generous friend. I'm very sorry for my foolishness.
Bless you. What's a little wet to a water rat? I'm in the water more than out. Now come on, I think you'd best stay with me for a time.
Really?
It's plain and rough, not at all like Toad's house, but I can make you comfortable.
I should love that. Thank you.
And we'll have you rowing and swimming in no time. Come along now.
That's good. And just so that, if this is going to be a really weird direction, that's fine. Can you try and make it like, give it a sense in your whole movement, the whole scene?